माझी दुखते पाटण, सासूबाई म्हणतात काय म्हणतात, सासूबाई म्हणतात पोळ्या लाट. तर तुम्ही सांगून लाटू मी कशी, लाटलंच पाहिजे, लाटू मी कशी, लाटलंच पाहिजे. माझी दुखते मान, सासूबाई म्हणतात काय म्हणतात, सासूबाई म्हणतात पाणी आण. तुम्ही सांगते आणू मी कशी, आणलंच पाहिजे, आणू मी कशी, आणलंच पाहिजे. हो निवृत्ती नामदेव सोपानचा एकनाथ नामदेव ठिकाण, निवृत्ती नामदेव सोपानचा एकनाथ नामदेव ठिकाण. हो.
If you were to tell me, give me one statement about the women in India, I would say, well, the status of women in India continues to remain low. That women are not considered equal to men. I grew up in a family of 3 girls, and I was lucky that I didn't have to face gender discrimination very early on because there were no boys in the family, but I could see it all around me. Boys can do this, girls cannot do this. I'm not saying that everybody in India thinks of women in the same way. I think there are men who are struggling to equalize relationships between women and men. But I think what's happened is over the years and years and years, centuries of oppression, the whole issue of equity between men and women, power between men and women begins to play out. And once you have this clash, it can lead to abusive situations. I don't think it's particular only to India. I mean, I think domestic violence is a tradition everywhere in the world.
A girl all throughout her life is dependent on different male members of the society. As a child, she is dependent on the father. Then as an adult, on her brother, or if she is married, on her husband. And in the old age, on her son. So ultimately, a man forms a absolute focus in her life. There are so many cases of violence in the women in the city.
Our job is to treat the patient and let them go back. We were really trained to write accidental burns, trained to write accidental poisoning. You don't have to go in all details, who did it, why they did it. I have seen women suffering because they are sterility cases. I have seen women suffering because if they want to adopt some family planning procedures, but they're not allowed to. I have seen women suffering because she didn't get the male child.
Sometimes it is so bad that the baby girls are not allowed to come in this world. Their life, it ends before coming out of the womb. There are certain things which are more common in India, and one of them is dowry. There are many times the brides are harassed, tortured, and sometimes killed because they do not bring enough dowry.
In Delhi, they say that their mothers-in-law are so bad, they want money all the time. So when her son gets married, she carries kerosene tin in one hand and a matchbox in the other hand. Because we see so many cases there, though they are rich, still they want more money. And for that, the mothers-in-law, they throw kerosene on their daughters-in-law and burn them.
The only thing she is worried about is her child, and hence in dying declaration many times she doesn't give the name of the person who has caused her this anguish, because she feels that after her death the child will be troubled.
A lot of people face violence under similar circumstances. There's poverty. People losing jobs in the cities and coming here. There's not enough water. There's alcohol abuse. And in rural India, where a woman gets married at 15, she goes and lives in the village of her husband, which is 70% related to him by blood. The political, economic, social, cultural leadership all are related to him by blood. And we are expecting a woman to get any justice in this kind of system. We come across women who've been beaten, who've been left to die, who've been starved, who've been kept in isolated rooms for days on end. Very often the women who belong to the most marginalized sections in society bear triple burdens of poverty, of overwork, of malnutrition and of violence as well.
16 वर्ष लग्न झालं आणि लग्न झाल्यापासून 8 दिवसापासून त्रास.
I was married at the age of 16. Within 8 days of my marriage, my husband started beating me. He would come home drunk, and everybody in the house, my in-laws, my husband, would argue constantly, and the beatings got worse. I tried to endure it, but after 8 months, I went back to my mother's house. I didn't know then that I was 2 months pregnant.
Women do not gain anything the moment they are born. A man may be born with a piece of land or at least a piece of the sky when he is born. But a woman is not born with anything. So without fields and without assets and without anything on her name, she has to jump hoops. First be fertile, be married, have a son, raise the sons. After which she becomes a mother-in-law and then she gets a daughter-in-law.
I think that there is something about a woman not ever having control of her own house. When she becomes a mother-in-law, it's the only time in her life where she's not at the receiving end. She's suddenly considered an elder, she suddenly has to be listened to, and it's a complete shift. And suddenly this powerless daughter-in-law has become the powerful mother-in-law. And all they're doing is recreating what they know and what they've learned.
बाळ झाल्यानंतर पण कोणी आलं नाही. बाळ झाल्यानंतर 1.5 वर्षानंतर
Even after my child was born, nobody, not even my husband, came until a year and a half later. Then my mother-in-law and the family came. The village started pressuring my parents to send me back because they said that's where a married woman should live and that's where she should die.
You cannot solve these problems, say, overnight, but at least a process has to begin where you make them aware that sometimes what is done to them is not a matter of fate, or they don't have to take all the injustice which is done to them lying down.
Change is possible. It takes effort, it takes time. It's small things that are creating these movements. Communities organizing themselves. The results from that change are so enormous and so uplifting that you can actually touch the lives of people in a very real way.
When you come out on an issue, there's a feeling of oneness. Hundreds of women standing there. What happened to me happens to a lot of women, and my struggle is the struggle of all other women. And therefore, I cannot do to someone else what someone else did to me, but it has to stop somewhere. And we need to have a lot of pressure on tomorrow's mothers-in-law, so that they do not do what to their daughters-in-law what their mothers-in-law did to them. If you're not going to plug a hole at the bottom of a pot, what's the point in pouring water from the top? Domestic violence is a hole you need to plug. This is Nirmala More, that's Mangal Magar, who are our health workers here. We've been long-standing colleagues, and like the rest of our Masoom colleagues, themselves survivors of violence, very, very powerful activists in the village. Extremely powerful. They're very formidable. They might look so timid and so mild, but they're very formidable when they have to hold a village meeting, and they've got the village leadership on their knees many times. And this is a place where a lot of self-help and self-examination takes place.
म्हणजे कुठल्या आजारावर चालतं आणि त्याचा काय उपयोग आणि किती प्रमाणात घ्यायचं हे इथं लिहिलेलं आहे. म्हणजे कुठली बाई आली तर ती स्वतः वाचू शकते आणि ती आपल्याला काय तिच्या मनात असेल तर ती वाचून स्वतः म्हणले तरी ती औषध घरी करू शकते.
हे काय
आता इथं तिने डायफ्राम बसवलाय आणि निरोध बसवलाय. तिच्या पिशवीला काही नाही, पण थोडंफार योनी मार्गामध्ये
मग मी संवादला आले.
Traditionally, one is expected to keep quiet. But when my husband started beating me at my mother's house, that's when I went to the paralegal center in Mal Shiraz village. The paralegal center sent a letter to my husband to report to the authorities. After the letter reached my husband, he said, "So you are going all the way to the court? Who do you think you are? You think you're so smart, you're not going to get anything from me." He thought I was going to get scared, but by then I had stopped being scared of him. And since then, he hasn't given me any more trouble. These women helped me be strong, and I am no longer afraid.
Her husband's behavior has changed in the sense that he doesn't dare to beat her anymore. I cannot say that because the physical violence has stopped, verbal violence may not be there. But at least it shifted one gear back. And he has to respect her because she has so much respect in her own village, and she has so much respect in the 15-20 villages around that area. That's the way it has to start in India and all over the world. I think you have to move from needs to rights, so people know that what you gave them was not a favor, but what was their due. But they didn't know it was their due. And then get people to start demanding what their due is. A woman from our village once had asked a question to our village chief that, is the home not part of the village? And I think it's time to ask the question that, is the home not part of the world?